Okay, so come to here. So which concept we're going to start? Decide yourself. Still we have two more pending things. One is RxJS operators and observable. Another one is component lifecycle books. Okay. So majority will be with RxJS operator. So I'll go with that. Okay. Start చెప్పండి. Okay, we will understand how do we work with RxJS first of all, and what exactly the RxJS is and how do we work with that. My voice is clear for all, right? Okay, cool then. So basically what is RxJS is, RxJS stands for Reactive Extension for JavaScript. It stands for Reactive Extension for the JavaScript. Now, what is the main purpose of this RxJS is, it is a library which is mainly used to perform asynchronous tasks in Angular applications. That means whenever if you people wants to perform any kind of asynchronous task, then at that time, RxJS is one library. Okay, RxJS is one library which will be very much helpful for us. What it is a library which is mainly used to perform asynchronous tasks in the Angular application. Whenever if you people are using that Angular application, and there if you wanted to perform any kind of asynchronous task, there you can go with this particular. And another important thing is, by default, every Angular application is having RxJS library installed. And another thing is going to be, it is not only used in Angular, but also it can be used with any of client-side library. That what I can say. That means by default, every Angular application is having RxJS library that needs to be installed. And it is not only used in Angular, but also it can be used with any of the client-side library It doesn't matter that like only for this particular one. Understand? Now here, when I say about RxJS, Shrikant, is it installed? If that is a case, like where it is getting installed, you can just go to the node modules of this project. Let's go to the node modules here. And in the node module, maybe you can go to the folder location. I'll go to my application over here. And there we have the D drive where we have full stack Angular example. Here you can have the node module. And here you can see somewhere we have like RxJS. See this. Do we have the folder or not? Tell me. Yes or no? And RxJS, like what it contains? It contains few packages which are related to the Ajax and few things which are related to the operators that we are having. So that is what the reason where here most of the RxJS is mainly used to perform what? An asynchronous operation. Already we have seen observable, how we can make use of it. Now in today's session, we will understand how we can use what operators. Now what is meant by an observer? That means RxJS is a combination of two things. First one is going to be, I can say observable, and the second one is going to be, I can say operator. Now, what is meant by an observable? What it will do? It is mainly used to, consume the data from the source continuously. That means until unless the data will be done or the data will be over, till that time it is making like, the HTTP calls. That means let's say I have 100 records that are available and one request I'm going to get only 10. Then what I need to do, I don't need to specify that, okay, make 10 calls or make 20 calls. What observable will do, it will continuously connect with the server and fetch the data that what it is going to be required or what it is going to be requested. That is what exactly the term what we call it as observable. Understood? Observable will continuously make the HTTP calls to the server and fetch the data that what we are having. And after fetching the data, what we can do with the help of operator, these are used to add an additional logic to the information that is fetched by the observable. That means observable is fetching that information, and on the top of it, if you people wants to get or add something more, there you can use it. And we have like different operators are available. Off is one operator, from is one operator, create is another operator, and at the same time interval is available. Okay, interval is one operator, and at the same time timer is another operator, map is another operator, filter is another operator, reduce is another operator, merge is another operator, anything else, join is there, and after that, like that we have around 40 operators are available. But as you know, learning like everything is not required. Whatever you people are required, that much that I can just give it over there. Okay, but we have many. Let's say merge is available, fork join is available, debounce time is also there. Okay, join is there, and after that fork join is also there, and also debounce time something is also there. Like that, we have different operators are available, and by using those operators only, we will be performing the operations. So RxJS comes with two things. One is observable and second one is operator. What an observable will do? It is mainly used for what purpose? Okay, observable is mainly used to what? Consume the data from the source continuously. and operators are used to write the additional logic. Okay, operators are used to write the additional logic. Now, first we will start with like what exactly the observable is going to be. Okay, first we will start how observable is going to work internally. First we will understand. Now, coming to here, observables. Observables. Now, what is observable? Observable is a class, I can say. Observable is a class, that what I can say. The main thing is going to be an observable is nothing but it is a class. Okay, it is a class. And how to create it? You can see, maybe I can say let O is equal to new observable, that what I can give. Let O is equal to new observable. Did you remember the syntax of creating an object? In TypeScript, the way how we created, this is, when I say about RxJS operators and observable, this is not something that like what we are using directly. It is something that like, you will understand more on like, ground level. Understand? It's completely at a ground level how it is going to be. Understand? Ground level. It is all like how observable internally work. That is what I am trying to explain. It's not something that simply observable of taking that. Internally what happened, that is what I am trying to tell you. Just keep some more attention to this one. Now what we are going to do to create an object of this type, okay, of this type, we use what? We use a callback function. Now what is mean by a callback function? What is mean by a callback function? Tell me. What is mean by a callback function? A function which will be executed at that particular situation. A function which will be executed at that particular situation. That means whenever I'm creating an object here for an observable, now here what I just want to do, I'm going to write a simple function over here. I'm going to write a simple function here, and this function, what we call it as callback function. Understood? Okay. So, and again, to that callback function, we need to pass, okay, an argument. We need to pass an argument. Now, how do I pass an argument here? I will show you that. Let's say I'm going to write something like this. That means first to create an internally observable is going to be created like this. And after that, what happened? Internally observable will contain a function, and that function can have an operator as well. Understand? And that function can have the operator also. That function can have the operator also. And this is argument, I'm sorry, not that operator. That function is having the argument. Now this argument, like whatever we are having, is going to, okay, emit the data that we are having. I can say that this object emits some data continuously. If there is no data, okay, error will emit with the help of following methods. What are the methods we are having? The first method is going to be, here we are having, okay, the first method is going to be, next is one method, and the second method is going to be error, that what I can give. See, internally There are like many things are available when I say about observable. Okay, so how it would be, you can see the syntax again. Let O is equal to new observable. That means how it is continuously connecting with the server. That is what I am telling you. It contains a callback function, and in that function, you can pass an argument. And from here, what you can do, you can write observable dot next. Whatever you're going to emit, you can just emit over there. And after that, again, it is making another call, OB dot. You can say next to that what I can give, you can give 2. Suppose if there is an error, what you can do, OP dot, we have an error where you can pass the error also over there. That's it. And another important thing here, you should understand, without having subscriber, okay, without subscriber, we don't need any observable. That means whatever like we are observing, it must be subscribed. How we are going to subscribe it? For that reason, I hope you might already aware of it. Now what I can do, I can use, maybe I can say O dot. Okay, O dot. We have a method that is going to be subscribe, and subscribe will contain 3 things. The first one is going to be, it is fetching the data, right? It is fetching what? The data first of all. So that data I can display maybe by using the console.log. And after that, the second argument is going to be having error. Now that error, you can get it from here. Whatever like observable is getting as an error, that you can use it in the subscribe. So how I can use it? Console.log, where I can give an error that what we are having. And after that, we have what? Suppose let's say my function execution is done. That means the complete data, the whole data, whatever like we are having it in the observable, I am subscribing it. And at the last, I want to display some message. And at the last, I'm going to display some message to the user. There you can use the third function. You may get a question, Srikanth, but you have not used all these methods in our implementation. All these are based on the requirement. I hope I have explained till this part. That means, excuse me, fetching the data and then binding the data to some variable. This part we regularly use. And also in few days back, I have explained this. This is also going to be. Okay, this is also. Now I'm trying to show you like how we can make use of it by keeping that in a example. For that, I create a For that, I'll create a new project so that G for generator, and I'm going to create an application, and the name of that application is going to be RxJS demo that what I can give. Okay. RxJS demo that what I can give. Well, now here, what I just want to do is, first of all, I'll create an observable. Now you can see RxJS demo where we have an SRC, and I have an app folder, and I'm going to use like this folder directly. app.component.ts and app.component.html. I'll remove all the HTML those is not required. And I'm going to prepare an observable object here. So how could I prepare an observable object? I hope you know that. Let observable is equal to, I'll be using new observable. Now you can see the time when I'm giving an observable, it is available under the library. That is RxJS is the library. Now here you can see it is accepting or it is expecting to write a function. You can see the function that is called when the observable is initially subscribed to. This given function is this function is given a subscriber to which new values can be next or add or error, something like that. Understand? Suppose now what I want to do, I am going to write something like numbers goes to, I am going to write some function over there. Why it is not required. It is also not required. Now what I can do here, let me write nums dot, you can see add is available, closed is available, complete is available, something like that. But mostly I'm going to give next and where I can give 100 and nums dot next is available where I can give RxJS or whatever it might be. Understand? And at the same time, maybe I can say nums dot next is going to be, let's say I'll be writing my name over there. Like that you can do whatever you want. Observable internally will make the calls with the help of what? Next method. Internally. These are internal things as I told you. But how we are using it in the project yesterday, simply we use that observable. But internally what happened? For every request that what it makes for the data, it is calling a method and that method is going to be the next method that we are having. Understood? Next method internally. By using that method only, it is communicating with that. Now you can see the observer callback to receive the notifications of type next. You can see next from the observable with a value. An observable may call this method 0 or more times. It's all depend on the data that what we have it in the receiver, API. Suppose in API, if you people are having like use data, then it may call like, those many times. If it contains less amount of the data, it may call less amount of time. That is how it is going. Now, as I told you, without having the subscriber, it is nothing. That is the reason where what I can do, I am going to, no need to have the constructor. What I can do is I'll be using ng on init, and here the type is going to be void, that what I can say. Now I am going to use the subscriber here. So how I can, this dot, whatever that observer we are having, dot, we have a method that is subscribe method. And here, the subscribe method is having 3 parameters. You can see that. The first parameter is going to be whatever the value we are getting from the next, it will get. Second parameter is that error. And third one is going to be the complete that we are having. Now what I can do, I am going to get the data and displaying it to the user. So that console.log I can say, and whatever the data we are getting, I can get it. And at the same time, I am going to have an error object also here. And this is also going to be console.log. If it contains any error, then I can use, and at the same time, what I have given, ERR, I'm sorry. And at the same time, if suppose, let's say it is fetching all the data, then you want to display that message. It's an empty one where I can write something like this, console.log data retrieving completed. Something that what I can say. That's it. Understood? Now you can see what is an observable. An observable is going to be a class. Internally, it contains the callback function, and that function internally we'll have what next is like one method that we are having, and by using that method only, it is connecting with the server and fetching the data. Now, whatever the data it is fetching from here, that data I can use it in my subscribe method. And by using this subscribe method, we have three types. First one is going to be what? Data. Second one is that error. And third one is going to be this one. Like that, the observer and the subscriber will work. This is internal thing. But you don't need to know about this much. Just how to use that is fine. Suppose let's say I'm going to send some error also. Nums dot error. Maybe I can write something like error occurred. These are all internal things. Now when I save it and then run my application, ngs-o -- project is equal to rxjs demo, that what I can give, so that automatically it will be. Nothing is there to see. Just for the understanding purpose, I'll be using some H3 RxJS operators. Okay, now you can right click and then go to that inspector, and in the console window you can see 100 RxJS recon, and after that if there is an error then it will come. Okay, this is how it is going. Understand? And also one more thing, suppose like you people are fetching the data, and at the time of fetching the data, suppose let's say you think that like it is completed, so that I can write something like rxjs.complete, it's a void function. Now you can see after that error also, maybe you can see, maybe I can say number dot next to that what I can give, and here let's write something like Naresh ID and save it and then come back here. You can see there is an error, and after that you can see what happened. Am I able to get the Naresh ID here? Tell me, am I able to get the Naresh ID here? That means in between, like when the data is going to be read, if there is an error that what it is going to be happen, then it won't read the subsequent data. But before that, if I'll be writing something, now you can just come back here and then giving it over there, and then see here. Now see Naresh ID will come. And not even that, suppose let's say I'm going to write something like this particular argument, whatever we are having, I'll be writing something like nums dot. We have a method that is complete method. And after that, when I use nums dot next, and here I'll be writing something like Hyderabad and save it over there. And then you can see how that output is going. Now, when I'm calling the complete method, then automatically it will call this particular function and displaying data retrieving is completed. Once if the data retrieving is completed, now whatever the data you people have written, sorry. Guys, please be online for 2 minutes, please.